Good morning. It's Tuesday, February 8th, and this is World Watch.
You know, there's a better way of doing this. Let me show you.
Good morning. It's Tuesday, February 8th, and this is World Watch. Canadians are making some noise. It grew out of what was dubbed the Freedom Convoy, truckers against a vaccine mandate. Protesters have added their voices to truckers' horns for a second weekend now, fed up with government COVID mandates and lockdowns. On Sunday, Canada's capital city declared a state of emergency and beefed up its police presence. Government and police officials have denounced the movement, claiming it's holding Ottawa hostage.
The city under siege, a threat to our democracy, a nationwide insurrection driven by madness.
But protesters' frustrations are shared by many Canadians. This weekend, a string of honking vehicles in Quebec City and crowds of protesters in downtown Toronto. Supporters of the Freedom Convoy had a Gofundme page. It raised an estimated $9 to $10 million. But the crowdfunding site pulled the page Friday, stating it violated terms of service due to unlawful activity. Critics have accused protesters of hatred, violence, and illegal acts. No matter the reason for the protests, demonstrations often bring out some who are simply looking to make trouble. But many have pointed out GoFundMe's double standard. The site supported Seattle's Capitol Hill occupied protest in 2020, an autonomous zone of anarchy, violence, and riots, with police barred from entering. GoFundMe announced it would refund Freedom Convoy donations. Meanwhile, the site Give, Send, Go is stepping up to provide a new donation platform. Gold medals aren't the only hardware being dished out this weekend in Beijing. Olympic souvenirs are flying off the shelves.
I was supposed to come to buy this blind box, but it turns out that so many people are here. The product is so popular. It's a pity that it's sold out. They said it would be available after the Chinese New Year. I will come back for it next time.
We've seen this little guy before, the Olympic mascot Bing Duen Duen, and his souvenirs are a hot commodity. As early as 4 a.m. on Friday, eager buyers lined up outside stores in sub-zero weather. By 2 p.m., this flagship merchandise store was sold out. One store made $470,000 on Olympics merchandise on opening day alone. Halfpipe hero and American snowboarding legend Shaun White is retiring. He made the announcement this weekend in Beijing, saying the 2022 Winter Olympic Games would be his final snowboarding competition. Nicknamed the Flying Tomato, White is making his 5th Olympic appearance, 3 of which earned him gold medals in the halfpipe event. But age eventually catches up, even to Olympic athletes.
I had injured my back working out randomly, which was the saddest injury because I didn't do anything. I jumped from here to here, and all of a sudden my back went to the side. I'm thinking, wow, is it age? Is it this? Is it that?
White still has his work cut out for him in Beijing. Strong competition coming from Australian and Japanese snowboarders. But the 35-year-old has some tricks up his sleeve, showing off a double McTwist 1260 on his first run Saturday. My passport is kind of bland and a bit empty. But this one belongs to world traveling reporter Mindy Bells, and it's got some stories to tell, I'm sure. But what if we spiced it up even more with some classic comic book art? That was the Belgian government's thinking. Its new passport sport images of Tintin and the Smurfs, along with other Belgian comic book characters. It adds an element of fun to something as serious as a passport.
We chose it also because we are not only very proud of what we are doing in Belgium, but it gives us the opportunity to use the drawing as an element of security for our passports.
Belgian citizens are big fans of the new design.
Yes, it's a good idea. There's no difference. On top of that, it's more pleasant to look at than ordinary papers.
It's our culture. It's the way it is. It's typical of Belgium. No other country would think of doing this kind of thing. This is what we are famous for.
Today's World Watch is sponsored by Summit Ministries. Experience a summer of growth, form lifelong friendships, and confidently engage culture.
Well, an upcoming holiday is certainly on the minds of many people this week. Grocery stores are packed with pink and red candies, chocolate, and of course, flowers. More specifically, roses. Aw, thanks, husband. But where do our Valentine's Day roses come from? The Big Bash probably started panicking about Valentine's Day this week, but growers in South America have had Valentine's Day on their minds for a long time.
We expect around 650 million flowers to be sold because it is Valentine's Day. Mostly roses, but all kinds of flowers are sold.
Each year on Valentine's Day, Americans buy millions of roses for their loved ones. The majority of those are grown in Colombia, a country whose citizens don't even celebrate Valentine's Day. But the holiday is still important to them because Valentine's Day alone can account for close to 20% of the annual revenue for flower growers there. And not all roses are red. Some growers offer up to 35 different hues. Red is the most popular, hot pink a close second, but there's also white, yellow, lavender, and many different shades of pink. In Colombia's capital city, Bogota, thousands of acres of land are covered in massive greenhouses. Some are bigger than multiple football fields, and they're stuffed to the brim with roses whose stems are 7 feet long. Workers come through to cut those stems about 25 inches down from the bud. Then they're sent to chill in refrigeration rooms before they're packed with other flowers onto planes headed for the United States. The flowers' first stop is in Miami. They get loaded into hundreds of refrigerated trucks and driven to warehouses further south in Florida. From there, the flowers are shipped all over the country. And that all happens in a matter of days. Once the workers are done with that, it's just about time to start getting ready for Mother's Day.
At least, we women love flowers. It's a big present. And we know that we are producing flowers so that in other countries, they can use them as a gift to express love. To express friendship is something very beautiful.
Sorry, Hannah, are you imitating a bird?
Well, yes and no. I'm practicing a new language. It's a whistled language, but it's also known as the Turkish bird language. 82-year-old Mustafa Sivalek enjoys chatting with his friends at the local cafe. But when he needs to communicate with another farmer out in the fields, he whistles. Sivalek is one of the few living speakers of Turkey's traditional whistle language, which has been used by local people for more than 500 years. Today, cell phones have mostly replaced the need for the language, but the remaining speakers hope to keep it alive by passing it on to their children and grandchildren.
We learned it naturally when we were kids. It is not a teaching process in which we tell our children how to use it. Our children and grandchildren grasp it easily as they hear the way we speak it.
There are dozens of whistled languages used across the world's different cultures. They're most common in rugged or mountainous terrain where it might be more difficult to just walk over to a neighbor's and chat. Whistles are an effective way to communicate not only because of their loudness, but also their frequency. Whistling ranges from 1 to 4 kilohertz, the same range as a baby crying, while the ambient sounds in nature like the wind in the trees or a flowing stream are at a much lower frequency. So whistling can pierce through the rest of the noises that surround us in daily life. It can travel up to 10 times as far as shouting. In an effort to preserve Turkey's whistled language, it's been added to the list of UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage, and named as its practitioner, Mr. Sivalek, of course.
Iceland is officially putting an end to its whaling industry in 2024. It's one of the only countries that still allows commercial whale hunting, with a national limit of 209 fin whales and 217 minke whales. But only one whale has actually been killed by an Icelandic whaling boat in the last 3 years. Apparently, there's just no money in it anymore. Whale hunting got more expensive because of a no-fishing coastal zone, meaning whalers had to hunt further offshore. Plus, the demand for whale meat has dwindled. And Japan, which was Iceland's main market, recently returned to commercial whaling after a 3-decade hiatus. So the country isn't relying on Iceland's whale meat anymore. What exactly is whale meat used for, you may be asking? Well, how about some blubber sushi or sashimi? Maybe not. And it's almost like marine mammals everywhere are celebrating, including here in sparkling ocean waters near Hawaii, where photographer Jacob Vandervelde caught this action through the lens of his drone camera. This dolphin and whale sure look like they're playing and having fun. Make sure you like us and subscribe to the channel below, but also go ahead and get in on a full World Watch subscription while the getting is good. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. I'm the Big Bash. Remember, whatever the news, the purpose of the Lord will stand.